Hey there, welcome to another episode of Legends with Elroy. Today, I'm excited to tell you another story about Billy Bob the Knight. This one starts as he was taking a little bath. Splish splash, I was taking a bath all about a Saturday night. A rubber tub just... What was that? Well, as Billy Bob knew, it was the front door. So he went up to the front door and he opened it. And what did he see? Well, he saw Stanley the skunk, as well as Porky the porcupine. A lot of people think Porky's a pig, but no, he's a porcupine. But anyways, Billy Bob said, "Hey, what you guys doing here? I wasn't expecting you today." And they said, "We know, Billy Bob, but you see, there's something strange going on." And Billy Bob said, "Well, what is it?" He said, "Well, you see, we were both out in the wild, well, in the fields, you might say. And Porky and Stanley was talking, and he said, Porky was helping me pick some flowers for, of course, Sally the skunk. And anyways, we were out picking flowers and everything was going well. Except for Porky turned out to be allergic to a lot of the flowers, so he kept being like, achoo, achoo. And so anyways, he was pretty distracted with all his sneezing. But then, of course, we saw Clyde and Catherine the cows, and they were real nice. We had some good conversations. But then, off in the distance, we heard a strange noise. It was like a hee-hee. And that wasn't really exactly what it was like, but... You see, Billy Bob, sometimes I have trouble with voices and noises. Isn't that right, Porky? And Porky was like, yes. Achoo! My allergies to those flowers are quite extreme. And Stanley said, speaking of those flowers, Porky dropped them all when he heard the noise and we ran off. So we still have to go back and get the flowers, but we're a little nervous to go. Will you come with us, Billy Bob? Billy Bob said, well, let's go. Where'd Porky go? Porky stuck his head out from behind the tree and he was like, I thought maybe you guys wouldn't notice I was gone and I could like stay here. Achoo! Nose. Well, anyways, off we go. Can we take some sandwiches? So they packed some sandwiches up and they were on their way. So they made it to the field, and of course Clyde the cow and Catherine the cow were there. And Billy Bob said, have you guys heard that noise? And they said, yes, we have. And you know, it's quite strange. We can't remember ever hearing anything quite like it. Billy Bob said, I wonder what it could be. And they said, well, we don't know, but it will be cool to figure out. I hope it's not dangerous. And then they heard it again. Billy Bob was like, who's the guy doing sound effects? Because that doesn't sound remotely like the sound I just heard. Sorry. Anyways, so Billy Bob looked and he heard a galloping. Billy Bob said, I think I know what it is. And up rode a magnificent horse. Billy Bob said, who goes there? What is your name? And the horse said, my name is Harvey the horse. You must be Billy Bob the Knight. Well, Billy Bob, I've been looking for you. I tried to talk to your friends earlier. I've heard legends about Porky, the porcupine, and Stanley. I hear that Porky is of course known as Porky the Stout-Hearted, because he's brave. Meanwhile, Porky was hiding. But then when he heard the brave thing, he popped his head out and he was like, yeah, I'm brave. Oh, I'm gonna go back to hiding. And he stuck his head back. And Billy Bob said, well, Harvey, it is a pleasure to meet you. what were you looking for me, though? Or why were you looking for me? And Harvey said, well, Billy Bob, I am a horse, as you can see. I have 4 legs. I'm quite strong. And you see, I come from a long line of horses that has served the king. And by serving the king, we have given many knights rides as they go on their dangerous journeys to battle, to glory. And Billy Bob said, oh, that's pretty cool. And Harvey said, Billy Bob, I want to pledge my hoofs to you. Billy Bob said, oh, wow, that's quite amazing. I mean, I usually just walk everywhere. Except for sometimes, like the time I was with Calvin the camel, sometimes I'll ride camels, but it would be pretty cool having a horse that could help me ride around. I guess I did ride an ostrich that one time too. But anyways, well, that'd be great. But you don't quite have a saddle. And I know that some people ride bareback, but I prefer a saddle. And Harvey said, too true, too true. I need a saddle. So we must go on a mission. On a mission to find the armor that my great-grandsire used in the great battles. Are you with me, Billy Bob? Billy Bob said, yes, I'm with you. Are you Stanley? And Stanley said, yes. Are you Porky? Porky? Where are we going? Thank you. So anyways, they went off on their way. It was a big, big day. So they went off to a great castle. They didn't actually go in the castle. There were stables there. And in front of the stables, there was a badger. And the badger's name was Benedict. And he said, what are you guys doing? Who goes there? Are you here to fight? Because if you're here to fight, I'll give you something. I'll give you a little 1, 2, 3, 4. Sometimes I'm kind of nearsighted. Who hit me? And Billy Bob was like, hey, you hit yourself. Benedict was like, oh, whoopsies. Well, the thing is, what are you guys doing? And Billy Bob said, my name is Billy Bob the Knight. He drew his sword. And Benedict said, Billy Bob the Knight? Oh my, that's amazing. I've heard plenty of stories about you. Of course, one of the coolest things, though, is you see, I have to take care of this stable. And that means I have to dust. And, of course, as you know, Oscar the Ostrich has some awesome dusters. And I heard that you helped him develop them. But I've been really wanting to get my hands on one. But alas, I don't quite have the money to buy one. If only they were a bit cheaper. Or, if you would go ahead and sign this, I got it in the mail recently, and it says that if it has Billy Bob's signature, I get 30% off. Not to mention, it apparently is a deal that Oscar is doing with Barry the Brown Bear. So that means I can get some bone broth extra cheap, too. Billy Bob was like, they're having sales and vouchers that involve me? That if I sign stuff? Does it say if I get a cut of the profits? And Benedict was like, I don't think it does, but they do say you're awesome. And Billy Bob was like, well, I guess that's payment of itself. I do this to help people anyways. I'm not a knight that's in it for the riches. Well, here you go. So he signed a piece of paper, and Benedict said, however can I thank you? And Billy Bob said, well, you see that horse armor over there? It appears that it's Harvey's great-grandfather's horse armor. And Harvey was like, it has been in my family for many generations, even further back than that. And Benedict said, that truly is legendary armor. Harvey, wear it well. It was interesting at this point because the badger proceeded to knight Harvey. I've never heard of a horse being knighted. He had took his sword out because he was wearing a sword and he had like armor on. I think Benedict was a knight too, a badger knight. Anyways, he took his sword out and Harvey kneeled and he put the sword on one shoulder and he put the sword on the other. Then he slapped him in the face. You know that whole thing knights do? It's like, this is the last slap you receive, and then after that, like, you know, you have to defend your honor and all that stuff. Anyways, so they did all that, and then Benedict said, "Off you go, my friends, to glory." And Billy Bob said, "Thanks, Benedict. It's been fun getting to know you." And they went off on their way. I hear that Benedict did get the bone broth and he got the duster. So things are looking up for him. But after they arrived home, Billy Bob showed Harvey to a nice little additional barn that Billy Bob had where he kept some food and stuff. And there Harvey set up and he said, "Billy Bob, whenever you need me, just call my name or whistle." Billy Bob was like, "I'll do that." Or I'll just walk over to the barn because it's like right next to the house. But yeah, anyways, okay, I'll see you later. And so he went off on his way, and Billy Bob went home, and of course Stanley and Porky went home. Porky was still sneezing, achoo! But he had a full belly because he ate all the food. Well, anyways, so it was time for Billy Bob to get some rest. He said, "Well, what's that?" But that, my friends, is a story for another day. Well, I'll see you guys in the next episode of Legends with Elroy. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See ya.